Yep, 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 yep. Something a lot, something a lot, something a lot. Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're gonna go ahead and hit the live button and give a few moments for folks to pour on in. So sit tight just for a little bit while we go ahead and get everything prepped up. Hope all is well for you this New Year's season. Maybe not specify. We can reuse. One more thing, y'all. There's a whole nother number at the end of your year. They're ready. So today, for those who are already here in attendance, the goal is to once again review a little bit from yesterday. But what I'd like to do is make sure that we can close a file. I want to go from the beginning of the file to the end of the file. I'm gonna keep it simple. We're gonna keep it simple. We'll deal with the client who only has a W-2 and maybe a dependent, and then we'll go all the way to the point where it is complete. That is the goal for today. So in just a moment, we'll go ahead and get started on this. And for the time being, let me at the bare minimum at least see if we can get caught up to where we are. I am your boy, the real Vince Taylor. Hallelujah. How art thou? Hope all is well in your neck of the woods. And for those who are in attendance at this moment, I want to make sure we have absorbed the information that we've been using the last couple of days of this training, specifically as it pertains to the using this information as a mock to create a file inside of our system. Okay, this is what we want to do. This is where we are right now. Okay, so if we're not here, we want to get here quickly, right? Because that's where we're going to focus today. And then, like I said, once we get to the end of this, a lot of the stuff that you're going to do as a first-time tax preparer is going to be plug and chug. It's going to be a lot of, okay, I recognize this form, and I know how to do it. So let me just put the information into the system. There are some nuances that we'll get into as the complexity increases, but today is not one of those days. Today, again, we want to reassure yourself that we want to help you reassure yourself, that you are capable at bare minimum of going through a tax file from start to finish. And we want to start with the easy ones and then kind of progress to some of the more complex ones, which will involve things like cryptocurrency, the sale of a home. This sometimes you have to deal with things like depreciation, rental properties, multiple dividends, which is annoying. I'm gonna keep it real. So there's a lot that goes into those more complex files, but fortunately for those who are starting off in the industry, you more than likely won't be presented with those first thing. And the best thing again is if you are working with us, then we will be here to hold your hand by your side and hopefully walk you through those types of clients. Okay, but I'm just gonna go ahead and get to the background here in just a moment, and we're expecting someone to come and kick us off. So if y'all could, just for the time being, for those who are watching, just go ahead and hit this comment section up for me. All right, hit the comment section up. Let's do a real quick checkup on who is all in the building. I just want you to say, hey, give me a emoji, drop where you're from, what your goal is for this year. Just kind of just say what's happening while we're waiting for our guest. Hey. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we're not feeling too we're not feeling too interactive today. But there's a comment section right here. Just drop something in there if you would. So let me make sure I'm not here with a bunch of bots. And then maybe we can go ahead and pick this up. There we go. Hey, thank you. What's going on, admin help? Who is that? That's a I feel like that's probably Tasha, huh? All right. What's up, admin help? What's good, Naya? Nyala? Nalia. I butchered that. And my bad. I'm so sorry. Grand Rising Queen. What's going on, April? I remember you. Hey, what's going on again? Hey, Nia. All right, I'm Naya. I'm gonna say Naya until you correct me because I don't want to keep killing your name. What's going on, Michelle Little? What's going on there, Little Michelle? All right, not need not Allah, not Nyala, Nyala. That's what we're going with. That's what it's going to be. Good morning to you, Queen. Appreciate you pulling up. Grand Rising. Let's go ahead and do it. Okay, like I said, today we're going to go ahead and focus specifically basics once again, just here for about 60 minutes. The first portion, we're going to have just some pointers from one of our esteemed veterans who's made multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars in this industry. Many of those, I believe, in 1 year, and has not actually even reached the full potential of their business because they got like multiple offices. So I'm gonna get a little pointers from this goddess real quick. As a, you know, we read. Okay, we Gucci. We good. It's like one of my favorite people in the world too. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this happen. Just a little bit of simmer. Just a couple of reminders before we go ahead and bring up our esteemed vet. That remember, if you are in this process to get something out of it, you only gonna get out of it what you put into it. Just want to take this moment to remind you that that is still a thing. You are not gonna get more out of it than what you put into it. So if you're expecting to show up, clock in, and walk out with a check, then you're gonna get that check. It's a minimum check. But if you're showing up and you're putting in the work, then you will get it. What work am I talking about? I'm talking about marketing. If you don't have no clientele base, you will fail. I promise you, you will fail. All right. I'm not saying that you can't build one, but you have to have one in this business. This is not a business that you show up and open up the doors and people run and flock to your business. They gonna go where they know you at, and they ain't gonna go if they don't know you exist. So you have to make sure that they're aware. You market, and how you market is you get one person to turn into a spokesperson for you. So you do your darn best to make sure you please and satisfy legitimately your first few clients, and then your first clients that you're dealing with, they'll start turning into another client, and then that client will start turning into another client. And then that client will turn into 2 more clients because they start telling all their friends, and then they start duplicating. So that's what you want to do, right? Is have ultimately you're going to be able to get your leg up on this business, because I'm gonna keep it real. There's nobody that wants you to be successful more than you. All right. So you got to make sure these folks know that you exist if they're going to come to you for any kind of service. And nobody can tell you that better than this next young lady who I'm going to go ahead and bring to the platform right now. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. What's going on? Yep. All right, y'all. So as y'all know, I've been chatting on the homie coming on in real quick. So without any further ado, I want y'all to meet one of the vets that put me on to some things, and I just have so much fun every time we get together. What's going on, Sharonda?
Hey, guys. Hey, team. How's everybody?
What's going on, yo? You look smart.
I mean,
I know you.
I done learned a few things.
All right, cool. Well, Sharonda, I sincerely appreciate you. I know you crazy busy, especially on this holiday. So I'm gonna go ahead and just
screens in front of me right now.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go ahead and say your piece. Comments, please be as vocal as you like. We will be watching and answering questions. But I
can't see the comments. Where can I see the comments? Let me see
if you look over here to the right hand side, there's at the top of the screen that should say comments, and if you hit that button, they should show you.
Okay, there we go. Now I can see everybody.
We on.
Hey, cool. Okay, now
check it out. I'm gonna go ahead and yield the floor to you, Miss Sharonda. Please have fun, and I'm gonna be right here on that side. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only.
Hey guys, hey. So you guys have done something that I would like to commend you on. You have entered into the world of tax preparation. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, you are a marketer that does taxes. Okay. Because we try to explain to everybody there's not a quick way to do this. You are really going to have to build your clientele. You're going to have to market. You are going to have to talk to, hey, Millie, you are going to have to talk to everybody that you encounter. I don't like this glare on my glasses. Okay, that's better. Anyway, okay. Quick little story about how my sister and I got started. About five, almost 6 years ago, we joined the Tax Lady brand. Our first year, we decided we were going to do this. I think it was November. By December, we had is Union County is y'all. I don't know what. I don't even know where Union City, New Jersey is. We are in Union County. Belinda and Vinny just want to make it Union City. It's Union County. Okay. Anyway, when we started again, we said no clients. November, we decided we're going to start this business. We're going to jump into this head first. I think it was maybe a Friday. By Tuesday, we had an office space. We had uh, we were hiring staff. We were getting just getting doing all of the types of things, all of the I believe Belinda calls them the B activities, just preparing the office, getting the office prepared, right? We went out, we bought coffee, we got snacks, we got like we've got the diffusers, we made the office smell good, like we did all of the things. It was absolutely beautiful. And then it came time to start the season. Oh my God. Y'all heard me say 5 years ago, right? So 5 years ago, we were in the middle of what? COVID, right? And here we are starting a brand new business. And COVID hit. And everything was shutting down. Luckily, because we're in the tax industry, our business is considered essential. So we were not one of the businesses that had to shut down. Okay. Long story short, we had did all of this preparation for our office, all of these different things, just making the office look good, getting our education. We got our AFSP. We did the training with Vinny. Like we just did all of the things. But then it was one thing we were forgetting: the clients. Who gonna come in here and eat these snacks? Who gonna come drink this gourmet coffee? Right? Who gonna come smell my pretty diffuser? Who's gonna come do that? We forgot about the marketing, right? So we got up, we said, sister, we can't sit here and just wait for people to come in here. We're gonna have to go out there and get them. We started marketing. Every place we went, we had flyers. Every place that we went, even if you were the person that rung up my groceries, how are you? So nice to meet you. You're making conversation. Who does your taxes? Oh yeah, well I'm the tax lady here, Union County. Let me give you my card. Right? Just talking to everybody. The beautiful thing, that one of the things that we did, we tried to think outside of the box. Our office, the first office that we had was located on Stuyvesant Avenue in Union, New Jersey. We were located right on a bus stop. It was a bus stop right there. We were downtown Union, very, very Union Center, all of the traffic, prime location. We got this pretty office. We sitting in here. Ain't nobody in here, sister. She looking at me. I'm looking at her. We had did all of the traditional flyering, like, right? We had went out flyer in the supermarkets. We flyered apartment buildings. We were just flyering. And people were trickling in, but it was not consistent. I said, you know what? Let's get the bus schedule, right? Because we're sitting on the bus stop. Our office is located right at the bus stop. So now we get the bus schedule. Every time the bus came through, we were out there handing out flyers. It was freezing outside. Hey, I know it's cold. You waiting for your bus. Come on inside. You can wait inside here. Let me get you some coffee, some tea. We got our first client that way. And that right there just kind of just took off, and we just kept going. I'm going to say to you, the best thing that you can do for your business is to keep talking about it, keep marketing, talk to everybody you know. You don't get discouraged if your friends and family are not rushing towards you to do their taxes, right? It's an intimate thing, right? So you're going to find that you may get more support from those strangers than you do your family. I'm not telling you not to market. No. Please don't misunderstand me, guys. I'm not saying don't market. Don't attempt to bring your family in, like absolutely let them know that you're there. But I would say continue to market, continue to present yourself as a professional, continue to present yourself on social media as a professional. Make sure you are posting tax tips. Go to the IRS website, look at the IRS tax tips, use those. Don't repost tax tips you see. In my opinion, if you see a tax tip on the internet, right, on Instagram, TikTok, whatever, verify it before you go back in and repost it or repurpose it. Verify it. Go on the IRS website and verify it, right? Because the last thing you'll want to do, especially if you're new in this industry, is to be giving out wrong information, right? Because people will check you on it, right? And you wouldn't want that, right? So tax tips, go onto the IRS website. Okay, verify any of that information before you start marketing it to make sure that it is valid. I wish that you guys can interact with me. I wanted to know if you guys have any questions about some things before I keep going on. But okay, I don't see anybody asking anything, so I guess y'all don't have any questions. So I'll just keep telling you guys our story, right? Okay, so yes, bus stop marketing, we started there. We decided, I told you guys, COVID hit, right? COVID hit. In the middle of COVID, in the middle of a pandemic, they put H&R Block in our building, in the same building as us, right? I was so discouraged. I'm like, how are we going to compete with that? What are we going to do? Oh, okay. What are we going to do? H&R Block, we can't compete with H&R Block. This was me. And I said, you know what? Trying to just lock in. We have sacrificed too much to fail, right? Because at that point, my sister was financially, she had invested all of the money in the business. And I was like, wait a minute, sister, I listen, we can't fail. We cannot fail. I refuse to let this fail after everything, because it just, somebody believing in us and what we're doing. And she took the chance on us. And I said, okay, that was your responsibility. It's going to be my responsibility to make sure that this thing takes off. And that's what we did. H&R Block in our lobby, they put a receptionist desk in our lobby for H&R Block. So all of this marketing that we had done, going out, handing out flyers on social media, all these different things, and people were walking into the building. And before they even came to see, if we don't even know if they were coming to see us, because they had a receptionist in the lobby. So they were kind of just ushering them into their spaces. So I took my laptop and I went out in the lobby like, we all gonna sit here now. and I started to market to their people as well, just giving out flyers. Hi, Black-owned business, women-owned business, usher them right on into our little office. And I'm gonna tell you, I caused some arguments in that office. What was the lady's name? Hattie, I believe the lady's name. The receptionist, I believe it was Hattie. Sister, are you there? Was the lady named Hattie? I can't see. Is my sister on here? Okay, I don't know. But anyway, me and Hattie had some words because we me and Hattie had some words because yeah, we are not gonna fail. We're gonna market, right? Um, as that as we're going through this situation with them being in our office, we just stayed determined. We kept praying on it. We believed in God. We decided we had to step outside of the box. And maybe we don't need to have everybody come into the office. Maybe we're gonna do, because of course I'm hearing, yes, her name was Hattie. Right. Her name was Hattie. Right. I said, we're going to step outside of the box. Instead of just trying to get people to come in here, why don't we just do some virtual appointments? We're just going to try to market a bunch of virtual appointments. We don't even want our people to come and experience that type of turmoil. I'm going to tell you, the number one key to your success in this business is going to be you. People are going to do business with people that they like, right? Because you can go to anybody to get for any bit of services, right? Who does your hair? Who does your nails? Who does your taxes? Who does those things, right? In the service industry, you can find so many different people to service your need, right? But I guarantee you do business with the people that you like, right? You will do business with the people that you like. So people, make sure when you are marketing, you are letting your clients know, your potential clients know, I am a person of resource. I am a person that you can trust. Like, I am responsible. I am knowledgeable. I apologize, guys. I just got something I had to respond to. I am knowledgeable. I'm a resource. I'm a trusted resource in the community. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I told y'all I have 4 screens going up here, so I apologize. There's different things popping up because I'm working at the same time. Okay, 1 second, and there we go. Okay. Anyway, what was I talking about? I apologize. I'm sorry. I got distracted. Your marketing. Make sure you have your flyers. Make sure you get your business cards. If you would like to do the Popl, we have the virtual card on our phones as well as the Popl. You have one on your keychains. Everything that you are doing, you are talking taxes. You are talking taxes, right? We look for, and my dog is. Sorry, I can't yell at her with y'all on here. I'm sorry. Move, go. Thank you. Okay. Make sure you have your resources for marketing, okay? Your flyers, your business cards, your social media. If you are a standalone business outside of a brand, please make sure you have a website. You want a website, right? Just having a Facebook or an Instagram page as a professional tax professional, it does not make you look trustworthy. Okay, you want to make sure you have a website. You definitely want to have a website. Okay, it's a good idea to have a website. It makes you looks like the professional that you are, right? Because that's what we are, right? We are not tax preparers. We are tax professionals. We are tax advisors. We are tax experts. We are all of those things, right? A tax preparer is just data entry, right? And we are knowledgeable because we understand the forms, right? So I'm going to tell you, one of the biggest things that we use actually in marketing is our ability just to be able to translate a 1040 to our clients, right? And it seems so simple. But it was very confusing to me to see the amount of people in our industry that actually could not explain a 1040 to their clients. And us being able to do that was absolutely a benefit, right? We did so many different things. I went ahead, I joined the black owned New Jersey. I market there. I market for us. I've joined all of the chambers of commerce, where we go to the chamber of commerce meetings. We are a resource in the community, right? Like, they know that they see us. They don't just see us during tax season, right? So as a professional in this industry, you want people to know, because the tax industry, we get a bad rap because there's so many people in it that just jump in, get the quick money, and then they can't find them, right? Because they don't see them the rest of the year. They see Tax Lady 2 Union County year round, right? We do a huge client appreciation cookout every year in the park for the community. It's completely free. We use that for a marketing event. It's free for all of our clients to come out with their friends, their family. And these are the things, I'm just giving you these things because these are the things that we have done to build our business, right? This is how we went from 0 clients to having over 500, right? So this is how we did it. Right? It's not something that you're going to be able to do well, you know what? You could do whatever you set your mind to. You can do whatever you set your mind to. Okay. But it's going to take dedication. It's going to take focus, and you have to know what your number is. Okay. And what I mean by that, right? A lot of us have gotten into this business hoping that you can transition into doing this full time, right? So you need to know what your number is. How much money is it that you are how much money do you need for the year? How much money do you need for the year to live comfortably, right? Without having to be responsible, for working for anybody. What is your number? What is your number? You have to know what that number is. You have to have a plan to get to that number, and then you have to put it into action. Okay. So number one, market, and you have to figure out what is your number. I am so sorry. I feel like I'm all over the place on this training, and I'm normally a lot more organized. But when I tell you, I got 4 different screens, emails popping up, clients texting, like it's going crazy over here. So I'm going to go. I love y'all. I hope to see everyone. Vinny, you need anything from me?
I have one question for you.
Yes.
When you first started doing taxes, were you working full time?
Yes.
Did you have to make a conscious decision to?
Yes.
Okay. Could you go through that process real quick before you leave for your million screens and your dog?
It's a lot going on over here. I'm trying to tell you.
I'm watching. I'm having a ball watching you. Like, anyway, so I gotta,
Vinny,
that's life of a queen. That's boss life, yo. That's boss life, yo. But yeah, I just want you to, because I know that when I first spoke with you and Sharice, and I told you, like, yo, you work a full-time job? Oh. Oh, okay.
You was like, you're not gonna be able to do that, sis. And then he was like, you're gonna have to choose, sis. And I was looking at him like, what? And I'm gonna tell you, I kept my full-time job for 2 seasons. 2 tax seasons I went through working a full-time job, and it wasn't gonna happen, and it wasn't easy. It's luckily for me, my superpower, I'm gonna say my sister and I, we are each other's superpower. Right? She where I'm weak, she's strong, and where she's weak, I'm strong, right? So if I wasn't able to be there, she was able to be there, right? So I was working a full-time job. I would get up and go to work from 7 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon, and then I would leave there and then go to our office and be there from 3 in the afternoon to 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, whatever it took. So it's possible to do it with a full-time job. It's just I don't know what your work ethic is, right? You're going to get out of it what you put into it, right? So at the end of the day, I worked my full-time job for 2 years. After that second tax season, and I hit my number, right? Because that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. My first tax season, I did not understand when Belinda and Vinny said to me, well, what's your number? It wasn't really, you understand what I'm saying? Like, it didn't translate. So now I get it. So I want you guys to understand, what is your number? What is your number? What is it going to make you feel like, okay, I got this. I got this, right? Like, what is your number? Figure that out. How you're going to get there. How many clients is it going to take me to get there? How much you need to charge for you to get there? Right? Come on now, Benny. Let them know how much you need to charge for you to meet your goals. Okay? How much you need to go. And let me say this real quick before we get off. We don't have to, as a Black-owned businesses, right? I'm gonna just say this to us. They don't go into H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, and ask for a discount. Right? I'm just saying, bro, right?
I mean, listen.
They don't
if they do, they get what they deserve. I'm gonna say that much.
They don't go into those places. They don't go into Macy's. They don't go into Louis Vuitton. They don't go into those places asking for a discount, right? Don't let people treat you like that.
Amen. Amen. Well, look, Shasha, half a Shasha. And I also want to say, if I could, I hope I'm not taking too much liberty. One of the reasons why I think Sharice and Sharonda were able to juggle their full-time jobs was because they had each other. Like, they function as a unit. You know what I'm saying? So they were able to divide and divvy up their responsibilities and still work their jobs. If you're a single individual running this on your own, it might be a little more complicated. Not saying it's impossible.
You need a team. You need a team. You need
and it's hard to find those two. But look, Sharonda got so much to do. She can't make eye contact right now. She got to go. Yo, Sharonda, you know, come on now. We tight, man. We ain't got to worry about it. But yo, you said enough. You said plenty, probably more than enough. Maybe too much. Did you have anything else you want to say on the way out so we can release you for your Happy New Year?
Let's see. Market. And when all else fails, market. Make sure you're talking to everybody. And you know what? Let me say this, guys. Make sure be selective with who you give your business to, right? Be selective with who you give your business to. Even with stores, like, and it sounds crazy, but like it's a couple of businesses on the block where our businesses that we patronize. If I go in there and I ask you to put my flyers in your store and you tell me no, I can't do business with you, right? Because it needs to be a reciprocal relationship.
All right. Well, listen, I think that Sharonda has got all the gems in the world. If you ain't listened for this, then that's your bad, because you missed out on one of the most successful, most professional, most developed, most established businesses and branches of this tax business as we've established. And you look what they say, like you heard what she said, 500 clients, do the math. They charge about $500-600 per client. Do the math. I'm gonna let you do that. That's on you. You know what I'm saying? Sharonda, thank you so much for pulling up on us. We'll release you back to your busy dog. Hallelujah.
Listen, it's tax season 2024, guys. Let's go.
Let's run it. And this is Sharonda. That's the other half right there, by the way. So make sure y'all keep her in your prayers, thoughts, and in your phone to holler at when you have questions and need things to be answered. Because let me tell you something. They know what they're doing. And I'm going to keep it real. I go to Sharice for advice, and she helps me because she is an exemplary example of how to take it to the next level. She didn't just learn what we showed her. She was like, okay, I learned that, but I need to know more. Went on and became an enrolled agent. Also is now dealing with a branch of her company that deals primarily with corporate filings. So this is how you take the bull by the horns, literally. So shout out to Sharice and Sharonda, because they are an example of what happens when you get out of it what you put into it, 100%. Now, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and do some speedy training real quick for the software so that we can have at least a better grasp of what it is that we are to do on day one when we start putting our clients in. By the way, we can do that now. The site is live. So you can actually technically do appointments right now, like today. Like I've got appointments for today. All right. And there's advances to be distributed. So tax season is amongst us. Like, there's no, oh, we getting y'all ready. Nope, we're in the thick of it now. War has started. The buzzer has bumped. We done jump balled already. Kick off, first pitch, everything is already out there. You are behind. So we got to catch up. So let's go ahead and do that. As of right now, we're going to spend the next 20 minutes, all right, just going from start to finish. So in order for us to do this, and I'm gonna keep, can I keep it real with y'all? Can I keep it real? I'm not going to keep it real unless I get a comment that say, can I get an amen? Can I get I need some interactivity. I can't speak to the room. I'm not used to speaking to myself. So can I keep it real with y'all? I'll wait. I guess not. All right, I won't keep it real. All right, cool. Let's just go ahead and get into, you know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. Somebody said keep it buck. Okay. Okay. All right. I didn't know who I was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was all quiet. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know who I was messing with. Y'all might ain't want me to say nothing. All right. So I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it 100. Sometimes training annoys me because I feel like I'll train and you won't, and folks won't grasp what we're saying. And then they'll be lost in the middle of the season, calling, asking us things that we established in training. So don't let that happen right now. I understand when you're calling like, yo, I don't know how to do a compound interest statement for somebody's CB. Okay. I don't know how to do it. Okay. But yo, I'm trying to put in this W-2. Oh, no, you ain't. Because we went over that multiple times. All right, it should show us up your head of household, or should show us up. Oh no, that's something that's basic. This is basic training, and so I need to make sure y'all have the basics down. So let me run through, speedy run through, like run, not jog walk, not speed walk, run through some basics, and I need y'all to be interactive for this portion. So while we're doing that, the first thing I need to make sure you all have, at bare minimum, to get down with this next portion, is access to this page right here. All right, so if you're on your computer, and if you're not, you're doing it wrong. Okay, if this your training, if you're a vet and this is something you're watching for review, forgiven. But if this is your first year and you're trying to learn, then no, we should be in front of a laptop, because I would like to go over these things along with you. This is an interactive portion. All right, if it's not there now, please try to get there as soon as you possibly can. I need you to be able to access this very screen right here, this screen. And we're going to go through an actual tax return, start to finish, real quick, real easy, nothing serious, not a bunch of extra stuff, just a quick identity W-2 and then a paper check issued at the end of that. All right, with no health insurance. Very simple. All right, so I see some of y'all say keep it real. All right, somebody said keep it a buck. Al, okay, I'm seeing them keep it a buck up that. All right, just like keep it a buck, keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Keep it real. All right, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Yes. Okay. Night Allah. Let's go ahead and do it. So we're going to start on this, but before we go there, let's go through some basics. So I'm going to throw these out there, and I will put on the screen the first correct answer. The first correct answer I will put up on the screen. Okay? We will put that up on the screen. All right? So my first question is, what are the 6 filing statuses? 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 What are they? All right. What we got coming? Morning. Okay, we got some. We got BIM. BIM. This is one of them. Yes. Single. Married filing joint. Yes. MFJ. Yep. Keep them coming. Mm-hmm. All right. So we got single. Thank you, Sharonda. Yes. Married filing joint. That's 2. All right. Thank you, Sharonda, again. Married, filing separate, that's 3. All right. Then we got B, head of household, that's 4. All right. Qualified. I don't know what that QSS was. At BM, Sharice. Now, this is 5, but remember, there is now alien. All right, they now have resident alien listed as some sort of filing status, but I'm gonna keep it real. In terms of classic, these are the 5 classics. All right, these are the 5. Yeah, that's what I thought that was qualified surviving spouse. I thought that's what that was. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, so BM. These are the filing statuses. All right, let me ask you this, chat. Of these filing statuses, which one do you use if you're filing for dependents? Which one, if you're the sole earner of that household? Let me qualify that. The sole earner of that household, meaning there's nobody else in that household that can claim any dependents, but there are dependents in the household. What is the best filing status for that person? HOH. Hallelujah. Head of household, typically, if they are the lion's share earner, have their name on the bills, mortgage, rent, lease, and they make the majority of the income, then these people file as head of household. All right, let's just keep it simple for there right now. Okay, there are some other. Well, let's put it like this. Let me make it as simple for you. You cannot claim head of household without either a dependent or a qualified person on file. That's as simple as it gets. You have to have at least a dependent or a qualified person on file to claim head of household. All right. And you want to kind of steer clear of having multiple head of households in the same address. You know, it's not something you can't do, but it's just hard to explain sometimes, and they'll often, they will ask questions. Okay, so those are just a couple questions that I'm glad that y'all are paying attention. I'm glad that we do have some folks in here that know what they're doing and know what they talk about. Let me go ahead and get y'all to once again direct your attention back to this screen. And what I like to do is I like to go through one file from start to finish, and then we will get up out of here, and then we'll start on some of the complex stuff tomorrow. Tomorrow? Are we doing tomorrow? Are we taking tomorrow off for New Year's? We might come back on Thursday. Keep a TBD. But I want to go through one, and then in the future, we're going to go over some of the things like, health insurance, how to put that in. We're going to cover that slightly today, but we're going to go into the intricacies of actually how do you retrieve that information if the client doesn't have it and stuff like that. But I do want to say this. I'm not going to use this training to go over every single form that your client will present you with. All right. I'm going to need the overwhelming majority of us to have the wherewithal to know that for forms that we get from our client, typically, if they are official tax forms, then it's normally just a matter of plug and chug. What do I mean by plug and chug? It means, well, listen, if I have somebody that presents me with a 1098 mortgage interest form, then all I have to do is go to 1098 mortgage interest and put in the cells in the fields where it requests the information off the sheet. It's literally plug and chug. It's put in the form on the screen, what you see in the form on paper. All right, so some of this I'm going to brush over quickly because I don't expect you to have too much difficulty with it. But for some of the other stuff, I need y'all to make sure y'all are grasping it, because I don't want you to be too confused when that first client sits in front of your face, whether that's in front of a screen or it's in front of you in your office. Okay, we are doing tomorrow? Okay, we're doing tomorrow. So we are doing tomorrow. That's at 12. I mean, I think it might be a little shorter. All right, and I might have some eggnog, so we'll just go ahead and do that. Can two people claim the same child on different returns? No, they can't. No, you cannot. All right, that's a good question. No, you cannot. All right, I know that some people think, oh, well, I'm just going to put that I claimed it for 6 months, and you can put it, you claim it. Well, what you have is one person claiming that dependent and the other person claiming the dependent as a qualified person, but both will not get earned income credit. Both won't get child tax credit. It's a myth. All right, I don't know who's out there preaching that. And if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Show me that I'm wrong. But I have yet in my 15 years of producing, of doing tax returns, been able to give one parent some of the EIC and the other parent the rest of the EIC. It don't work like that. Once you put in one social security number and date of birth, then the IRS's database accepts that date of birth and social security number, and nothing else can be processed for that social security or date of birth, point blank period. I don't care who it is, unless they are filing for taxes and they put on their file that they can be claimed as a dependent. So no, you can't have little Juju be claimed by mom and pops, even though they separated. They're gonna have to figure that out. It didn't change. It never happened. That was never a thing. I don't know when that was a thing, but there's never been you can make no mistake, you can put one dependent on two different files, but one will be a dependent and the other will be a qualified person. I'm getting a little sidetracked here, but you did ask the question, so I wanted to but you can, and let me make sure I'm saying this right. When I say claim, there's a difference between claiming somebody and having somebody on your file. You can have somebody on your file and they not be claimed because you're actually putting them on there as a qualified person, but you're marking on there, you're not claiming them as a dependent or for earned income credit. So essentially, you're just saying that, look, this person, they stay in my house, but they take care of themselves, but I'm not claiming them as a dependent because they filed in their own self or somebody else is filing for them. You can do that. Be cautious about that. All right. Be cautious about just putting it down just so that you can claim the qualified person, because they can deny that too. Rarely does it happen. But yes, you cannot, just to be clear, I think that what admin help, who I'm assuming is Tasha, I don't know, but you cannot claim one person on multiple files. You can have one person claim them for the earned income credit or claim them outright. And then on another file, they can be filed as a qualified person, but the qualified person will not get any credit for filing for that person as a dependent. However, if that person was filing as single, then they will get the luxury of being able to file now as head of household. If that benefits them, great. It might not benefit them it does legitimately. That's correct. Yes, that's right. I mean, why are you yelling at me? You know what I'm saying? Why you ain't gotta yell? You know what I'm saying? I get you. I believe it. Yes. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Tasha. You know what I'm saying? I would yell right back at you. Let me stop. I'm just saying, you probably just got it on count. But yeah, that's what it is. All right. So just want to make sure that we're on the same page. All right. Now that I've spent that 7 minutes getting that clear, let me speed through this real quick. So we are going to do the taxes for this for one of our clients. Her name is Jessica Brady. All right. Jessica is a New Jersey resident. All right. And she has two dependents. All right. The dependents' names are, they're from an ex, or they're adopted. All right. She got two daughters, Blue Carter and Red Carter. All right, here's the socials, and there's the date of birth. So this is her social security number, and this is her filing status, and this is her dependents. I mean, y'all should know that the filing status, we just went over that is going to be head of household. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to assume that we've already gotten all of the information that we need from her, right? Like, we've already done the preliminary stuff. We've gone to, we've gotten the DocuSign documents. We've gotten her to sign the consent forms. Okay. Don't do that. We've gotten her to sign the consent forms. We've gotten her to give us the preliminary information that tells us exactly what it is that she wants us to have on her file, such as her occupation, such as her current address, such as her email address, such as her prior year taxes and what she did, what the results of those was. We got all that information from her already. But now what we need to do is we need to enter this information into our system. So let's go ahead and get started with that. All right. So since we do have the driver's license, let's go ahead and put this here. Driver's license has some key information. We see the date of birth. All right. We see the address, even though we have to verify, make sure that it is correct. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little interested. She's 6'10". I ain't noticed that until just now, but that's crazy. The Zen, the warrior princess type stuff. But anyway, so let's go ahead and put this in here. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and lower myself down to the background. And we're going to go ahead and start new tax return. I'm going to go ahead and put this up. So you should be following along with me. I'm going to go through this hella quick. So if you don't follow along with me, watch it on a replay and get it right. Her social security number is this. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this social security number in. We see we have 264758655. Then we put it in another time just to confirm 758655. Not a real social security number, by the way. Go ahead and get that started. This is what happens after that, right? BM. All right, so she's claiming 2 dependents and she doesn't have anybody else in the household that earns any income. Therefore, what is the best filing status for this young lady? Head of household. That's right. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do head of household for her. But before we do that, it's just letting us know that they're still updating some of the stuff. So everything isn't the way it will be probably in a week or so once they go live, even though it is live right now. All right, so we claim that she's head of household. Let's go ahead and put head of household here. But you see the other filing statuses. All right, this is the new one right here. All right, filing statuses. BM, head of household. So we're gonna go ahead and put that here. Now we do have all our information right here on our handy dandy driver's license. So let's look at that and see what it is that we need to put. So we know that her name is Jessica F. Brady and that she was born on the 5/21/82. All right, so let's go ahead and put in here Jessica Brady. I use all caps. Typically, most of us do in the office. Brady. You don't have to put the middle name initial. You can if you want, but it's just that it can distinguish people with the same name. 05/1982, 21. Occupation. I'm going to put as you know what? Let's just put manager. I don't know what she is, but all right, she cannot be claimed as a dependent on nobody else. That means that she is not somebody else's dependent. So we leave that blank. She's not a student over the age of 18. All right, she's not a student. All right, we have an address here. What did our screen say? What did our license say about her address? Well, it says that she is at one of my favorite streets in the world, 3512 good old Blunt Bong Way. Oh yeah, all right. And that's in Freehold, I guess. So I'm gonna go ahead and put Blunt Bong Way. I didn't make that up, by the way. And I think that's 08094. And that's coming up as Williamstown, New Jersey, not Freehold, but it is what it is. So you see, I put that information in right here. So this is what I put here. I just put 3512 Blunt Bong Way, zip code right here. Came up with a different town, so I have the ability to change this if I want. If I want this to say Freehold, like it says right here, then all I have to do is go here and change it to Freehold. Okay. Yeah, she's currently staying in New Jersey. Now that makes it so that this actually has state taxes, but we'll worry about that stuff later, okay? Daytime phone number, just go ahead and give her a phone number just for kicks and grins. All right, she has an email address, but typically you put that in there, but we'll leave it alone now. So y'all see how to do this. This is cake, all right? It's plug and chug. Literally, you're just putting from her information into the sheet. This is basic data entry. Everybody should be able to do this. I'm not gonna spend time on that. All right, does she have any dependents? Guys, does she have any dependents? Tat, does she have dependents? We've discussed this. Does she have dependents? Does she have dependents? Does she have dependents? We're claiming her as head of household, so we already went over this. For the sake of time, yes, she has dependents. We talked about it before, and their names are Blue and Red Carter. All right, let's not forget, and don't worry about the whole last name thing. You know, some people don't take the last name no more. That's just the whole thing. All right, so BM, Blue and Red Carter are her dependents. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to enter the dependents information based on, now for dependents, there's just a couple quick pointers. If you're claiming a dependent, then that means that dependent not only is your dependent based on the status that you all have as a relationship, i.e. mother, daughter, sister, brother, cousin, but that also means if you're claiming them, the IRS is expecting you to have resided with them for at least 6 months of the year, okay? So the easy part for those who have those dependents is to prove that that's your dependent. Yeah, I got this, my child, it's a birth certificate, no problem. The hard part is proving that that child resided with you. What do you use to prove that a child resided with you? You use any document that has your address and that person's name on it. So if it's an immunization record, school records, whatever, school program or signing up, If you have some sort of softball, kickball, volleyball registration, and it shows that the child actually has to go to the address that's on the front of your 1040, that's good. But having a note written from the mom or from the dad and all that doesn't work as well in a court of IRS as the documents from an official place. So remember, when you're claiming a dependent, it's not just this my child, which typically that would work. But if the IRS asks questions about it, they're going to want more for the CTC. They're going to want more than just, oh, I see that it's your dependent. They're going to want, okay, well, how do I know that your dependent even stays with you? So just keep that in mind. We'll get into that a little later. But right now, let's go ahead and put in this information for the dependents. And the dependents we have as follows. Do we have any dependents? Yes, we do. So we'll click yes. They're going to ask us about these dependents. And we already know at the bottom of the screen, we have Blue Carter as the first one. I'm going to go ahead and put Blue, all caps, Carter. All right. And we got a date of birth right here of 12/09/2022. Little new baby. All right. Just after my birthday. And 3482, bam. Now, does she have a social security number? Yes, we know because she gave us a social security card, because that was one of our prerequisites. Remember, we want to make sure we get a social security card and a birth certificate for these dependents at bare minimum. Even more than that is what we want, frankly. We want immunization records, we want school records, especially if you're claiming them as dependents. But at the bare minimum, to prove that they are who you say they are, we want that birth certificate at bare minimum. That's a requirement, okay? This is a daughter, so I'm going to put down daughter, and that they live with you for 12 months. Now, this is the part that gets tricky. Now, this is Kate. We believe our client. It's not about us. It's about the IRS. And the IRS wants to make sure that they are indeed, that they did indeed live with them for that long. So that's, you want to just make sure your client knows that if there's a question about this, you want to have some proof and just coach them to have that ready, okay? So we have our first qualifying child. Are there more children? 2. That's right, gorgeous girl. So we are going to go ahead and put the second one in, which is Red Carter. I actually think these are pretty good names. Somebody should consider these. What's the date of birth for her? It is in a few days, 2003. Now this is the older daughter. All right, this is the one that went to college. I did this on purpose because I want to show y'all something. Let's go ahead and put the social in right quick. Ta-da-down. Yes, she is a citizen. Yes, this is my child. And yes, she stayed with me for 12 months. In all honesty, it's probably safe to assume in most instances that the child did reside with them for 12 months at first, but you do want to get clarity and make sure that nobody else can claim the dependent, because if somebody else tries to claim the dependent, they can lock up the social security information for this dependent. We're running a little time, so we're going to go ahead and keep this thing going. So this one, like I said, is in college. So we're going to go ahead and put that she is a full-time student and is eligible at an eligible educational institution. All right. Let's just go ahead and keep this going. So we now have established that there are 2 dependents for Miss Jessica Brady. All right, Miss Jessica Brady. You know what I'm saying? Now let's get into her income information. All right, let's get into her income information. So she did give me a W-2, and this is her W-2. She didn't work that much last year. It wasn't the best year, but this is where I want y'all to follow along with me, okay? This is where I want y'all to follow along with me. You should be able to duplicate this on your screen. So if you're not doing this along with me this moment, make sure you come back after this, if this is your first year, and you do this exact same thing that I'm doing, and you should be able to get the same exact results, okay? You should be able to get the same exact results, all right? So this is the W-2. I'm right now on this screen, so I'm going to hit continue. It's going to bring me to this next screen. I have no other dependent information that I want to enter, so I'm going to hit continue once again. Now that I have my filing status, my personal information, and my dependents, I don't have an IPIN, an IRS identity protection. That's if somebody has ID theft and they need a PIN number, the same way you have an ATM card. They should issue that to you. And trust me, if you try to submit it and don't have it, they're supposed to have it, they will reject it and let you know that you're supposed to have that. I'll show you how to get those later. But right now, let's continue to the income portion of this. Let's just hit continue. By the way, when you're doing this, when you're using this program, the best part about it is that it will show you where to go. You don't have to know. Just keep continue. Just keep hitting continue if you're lost, and it'll tell you. It'll direct you to the next place to go. So if you're for some reason like, I don't know what to do next, just hit continue, and it'll take you to the next place. All right. I hit continue. Bam. Here are a list of income documents that I have the ability to enter for my client. All right. So what did I tell you that our client presented us with? Did I say that our client gave us a 1099? Did I say our client gave us bank statements? Did I say our client gave us a bunch of check stubs? No, our client gave us a W-2, and here is that W-2. So what we want to do is we want to use this information to put in the W-2 section. So I'm going to go here to W-2. All right. And we automatically start seeing what it is that they're requesting for the W-2. Remember, the difference between the W-2 and a 1099. The W-2 is going to have Most of the time, federal withholding. All right, you see this in the box 2, federal withholding. Unlike on 1099s, where even though they have a box for federal withholding, ordinarily in my experiences, I've typically seen the overwhelming majority of 1099s not come with some sort of federal withholding. Typically, they'll look like this. We went over this yesterday. Okay, box 4, federal income withheld, nothing there, because you as an independent contractor are responsible for that on your own. So that is the case with that. But for Jessica, fortunately, she did have a W-2. All right, we're just up to 60 mark. I was trying to wrap this up pretty soon. All right, so bam, we have her W-2, and we are focused primarily on boxes 1 through 12. Now 15 and so forth, that's the state tax. We'll worry about that in a second. But for right now, let's just go ahead and enter this information, okay? Bam. So I have the box. The box that I'm most concerned about to begin with are the ones with the names of the company. So if you look at the top left-hand corner, all right, you're going to see EIN for employee identification number. And we're going to look over here at our screen, and we'll notice it says EIN right there. So we're going to go ahead and put on there what it says for EIN. And I see EIN. On this, it says 826000952. Y'all see that? Top left-hand corner, right? Bam. So I went ahead and put it right there. Next thing is the employer's name. What's the employer's name? Looks like it is the state of Idaho. So we're going to go ahead and put state of Idaho right here. Okay. Then we want an address. The address is right here. P.O. Box such and such. P.O. Box 8327720. All right. Zip code 83720 as well. See me putting this stuff in right here. Yeah. Zip code normally will auto-populate the city. So I just hit tab and it brings up Boise. Okay. Now we get to the nitty-gritty. We get to the numbers part. Bam. Look at the numbers on the W-2. I'm looking at box 1. This first cell is asking me, this field is asking for box 1. So we're going to go ahead and put in box 1. Let's stick box 1. It says 9121.27. $9,121.27. We typically round up and round down when it comes to the cents. So I see 9,121. So I'm just going to tab down here. What? I'm gonna go ahead and put 91.21 right here. All right, now I can put the 27 cents, but we typically in this office, we just round up, round down. Okay, we round up, round down. Now, it should say something for federal withholding. Where's the federal withholding? Does anybody see that? All right, for federal withholding in the top right-hand corner, box 2, 1326, which I know is a good number because it is over 10% of the wages, which is good, especially for that tax bracket. We'll get into that a little later. All right, so you'll see that I did make that adjustment on the screen. I've got 1326 for my federal withholding. Let's go ahead and keep it going. Now we have Social Security wages over here. We want to make sure that that matches what it says on the W-2 as well. So BM, what's it say over here? Now, normally this will auto-populate, and you'll be able to see it just have exactly what it says. It'll normally auto-populate to the exact number of box 1, but if it's not equivalent, meaning that the wages are lower, that they added more for the Social Security wages, they're giving you a break on your income because some of it's going to Social Security, then you want to make sure you indicate that in box 3 and 5 as well. So we notice right here, bam, 9121, underneath that box 3, 10497. So I made that adjustment here, and then I'm gonna go and do the same thing. So copy and paste it, put it right here. All right, now that should adjust those other lines on the other side as well, but let's make sure they equal. Yep, see that? You notice that? So how it auto-populated those other ones? Perfect. All right, BM. So we're gonna go ahead and go to the next line. 7 is blank, 8 is blank, 9 is blank, 10 is blank, 11 is blank, but 12. You see 12, we have these things called 12 codes. You notice 12A has D322.64. So we're gonna go over here, right? Our handy dandy page, scroll down to the 12 codes. And it says 12 was D36322, excuse me. So we're gonna go ahead and click this, D, all right? And notice over here, it also has that retirement plan clicked in box 13. So we're gonna go ahead and click it right here in box 13 as well. And it asks for an amount, 323 was what it said, if I'm not mistaken, right there on the right-hand side, 12A, 322.64, that 6 is over 5, so that means we round it up to 323, and that's why I put 323 in there. Next one is 12B. What's it say for 12B? It says G322. So let's scroll down for G, BM. All right, we just found G in here, right here, just clicking down. And then 323 once again. What's the next one say? It looks like it says C, 690. So I'm gonna scroll here, and I'm gonna look for C. And since 690 rounded up is 7, I'm gonna put 7, all right? That's basic math. All right, let's go ahead and look at the next one. We've got double D, which I know is healthcare. So we're going to go ahead and look at the 12D code and double D right here. And that is going to be for the amount of 37.48. It's 37.47 and 54 cents, which is over 5. So that is that. And you have successfully completed the federal portion of your W-2 for this client. Now, there's also state. We're going to go over state in the future, but for the sake of time, we're going to go ahead and just do the federal portion for now. Hope that's okay, everybody. Hope that's okay. So if you've been following along with me, then once we hit enter, we're going to get a result right there where it says AGI. Now look over here. You see where it says AGI for my newbies. All right. AGI stands for adjusted gross income. Adjusted gross income is the amount of income that you are projecting to the IRS that is what you earned after expenses and deductions are tallied into it, okay? So adjusted gross income as of now, because we haven't hit continue, is 0. But once we hit continue, we will register that income, and we already have 2 dependents. And the 2 dependents do get earned income credit because they are under the age of 23, and one of them is a student. So I'm gonna hit continue, and then we should get the same results, and you should notice a very, let's just say it ain't gonna be too big, but a nice, decent size refund for this client for 2 reasons. 1, they're claiming dependence, okay, which is always gonna help. And 2, I don't want to say always, but for the overwhelming majority of the time, it's gonna help, especially with this income bracket. If you're earning under 20K and you have a dependent, then you're probably gonna get a good lion's share of the earned income credit because EIC is designed, it was originally designed to assist with lower income households. So those are the people that are going to get the lion's share. We'll go over why it is that is and how that is and the rules and the parameters and the numbers about that tomorrow. But for right now, this is what happened. We should have all pulled up. And if you're doing this on your own, then you should pull up these same exact results. Okay. Now, I would like to play around with this tomorrow and show why this number came up, what these numbers are comprised of. But just for the sake of, did I freeze? Whew, I thought I froze. Okay. Just for the sake of completing this today, let's just go ahead and move it because I wanted to show you how to go from start to finish, right? And I'm already behind schedule. It's 36 past the hour. So let me go ahead and continue, but we now have done this. Remember, caveat, disclaimer, this is without state taxes. So we will go back and do the New Jersey state taxes, but for now, this is just for federal, okay? Hope you follow along. So whenever in doubt, you don't know where to go next, just hit continue. Bam, so I continue. I've entered my income information. Now, that may be all I got from this young lady. Let's assume that that's the only bit of information that I received from her is her direct deposit information, her dependence information, and her personal information, okay? And the W-2. So let's go ahead and complete this file. The only other thing I have to know is whether or not she had insurance from the marketplace. What do you mean insurance from the marketplace? I mean, marketplace insurance comes on a marketplace insurance is required to be. You are required to report your marketplace insurance. Let me just put it like that. So if you have what they used to call Obamacare, they should give you a form called a 1095A at the end of the year. Okay, the Department of Health should give you a form called a 1095A. It looks like this. Right? It looks like this. If they give you a form like this, then you have to include that in your taxes, or they will not accept it. That's simple. If you have marketplace insurance, your client have marketplace insurance, then you have to you have to use this form, or they will not accept it. It's that simple. All right. So watch these next couple pages. Now, this isn't the only type of health insurance. There's also, this is 1095A form, which represents health insurance through the marketplace. But there are also 1095Bs, all right? And there's also 1095Cs. 1095B, all right, the difference between that is it doesn't come from the marketplace like the 1095A. 1095B actually is typically used to show that you got insurance that's shared coverage. Excuse me. I said not liable for shared coverage. I think that B normally, B is normally, if I'm not mistaken, it's like when you don't, my froze again. I hate when it freezes like that. It's like when you can have insurance, but it's not necessarily through your employer. I'm freezing up a little bit right now. My internet's cutting up a little bit. But a 1095B doesn't have to be reported like a 1095A. A 1095B is almost just admission that the 1095A isn't in existence. All right. Sorry, it's getting choppy. I don't know. My internet's probably tried to ride out too. So we'll go ahead and end this pretty quick. And then 1095C predominantly is showing that you have insurance through your employer. So I use a 1095C and B just to prove that we didn't have a 1095A. But that's not necessarily always going to work, because sometimes your clients will have a 1095B and a C, and then they won't even know they had a 1095A because they tried to register and didn't even realize it. So that's all the story. Let's just assume for this particular period, for this particular file, let's just assume that this client did have a 1095C, okay, meaning that they had insurance provided through their employer. So they did not have a 1095A. Why is that important? Because when we go to continue and complete this, then we're going to see on here that once we continue, it's going to ask about our health insurance information, right? All right, we're not going to work with the deductions and the standard deductions and the Schedule A stuff right now. We'll get into that in the future. But and we're just going to keep on hitting continue because we don't need. She gave us a W-2 and that's it, y'all, and a 1095C. So we're going to hit continue, continue. Oh, look where we are now. It's asking me about health insurance. And remember, if they had a 1095A, you see that 1095A, if they had a form that looks like this, then this is where we report that. And what did I say that she had? Did I say she had a 1095A? No, I said she had a 1095C. A 1095C that looks like this. So she has insurance through the employer, not the marketplace. And as a result, we are going to click no right here. Now, some of you may be curious, like, well, what if I click yes? If you click yes, then it's going to ask you for the information. Once I hit continue, all right, and then on this, it says, does everything, are they all the same? You know what? We'll go over that in the future. I ain't going to confuse you right now. Let's just keep it simple for right now, okay? We're going to click no for now. just keep it simple, not going to confuse you. We're going to click no for now, just for the sake of completeness, okay? So now, what does that say? It says your federal return is complete. All we got to do now is put in, how do we pay this woman? If since she's getting a refund, how do we pay this young lady? Okay? So let's go ahead and do that now. I know some of y'all might be curious about pricing as well, but we'll get into that in the future. But right now, I just need you to know how to complete a file. So we're going to go ahead and continue. I like this page. I don't think a lot of people use this page, but me personally, I love this page because it shows you what your 1040 looks like without having to actually pull up your printed form. So I can hit 1040 view right here, and this right here shows me so much about my tax return. Remember when Sharonda was here, she was telling us, oh man, I know how to break down the 1040. People don't know how to, like, this shows you, like, you know so much off of this 1040. If you show me your 1040, I can tell you so much. I can tell you how you filed, what's your filing status, how much you earn on your W-2, who is your dependent, how many dependents you have, how old are your dependents. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many things I know. I know whether or not you claimed losses, whether or not you had self-employment, whether or not you had 1099Rs, 1099 SSAs. I know what your overall gross income is for the most part. Those things are detailed right here. If you look at line one, notice that 9121. Does that number look familiar? That's the same number we put on for the W-2. That's the overall amount of income. All right. And that number on the 1040 will actually be the overall total of all W-2 income. So if she had multiple W-2s, and that number on number one, line one, that's going to show all of the incomes combined. Okay. But that's not what we're doing right now. Right now, we're worried about us just completing this file. So let's just go ahead and go back to our original summary view. This is what it looks like. And what do I say? When in doubt, hit continue. We're going to go ahead and hit continue. Bam. And this brings us to now our EIC checklist. This part is pretty easy. Normally it's pretty uniform, but you want to make sure that you're adhering to the requests. This is not a taxpayer who is a resident alien. He is not a qualified person for nobody else. Yes, we completed the forms recently. Yes, we asked the right questions. Yes, they're eligible to claim head of household because they're the only ones in the house. And I started also last year, just so y'all know, I started collecting for people that claim head of household. I request their leasing information. All right, I like to get their leasing agreement if they're renting, or if they're owning their home, then I like to get the mortgage interest statement if I don't already have that. I probably should have it already if they own the home. I want to use that as a deduction, but speaking fast, that's a caffeine. So let's go ahead and keep it moving. This is person incomplete or inconsistent. Nah, ain't none of that stuff incomplete. Did you record? Yes, I did. I collected a W-2. That's the form I got from her. Yes, and I maybe got birth certificates and social security cards. Just some documents that help me cement my claims. Yes, is she eligible? Did she provide documentation? Yes, she gave me let's say she gave me a lease. None of them were reduced last year. And did I ask? Yes, I asked, and none of them were. Is the child qualified to be on anybody else's return? No. This box says, nah, daddy cannot claim them. No, auntie cannot claim them. Yes, are they eligible to claim earned income credit? Sure, why not? And have you discussed with the taxpayer that they may not pay the taxpayer if they have not lived with the child for over half the year? You see that? And the IRS will hold you to that. They were like, well, how I know? So that's what I would tell y'all about. You explain the taxpayer rules about when the EIC is child more than one. All right, so this right here, I'm gonna let y'all read that on your own time. But basically, you can't claim a child in multiple places, like I was telling y'all earlier. That's what all that says. All right, and these right here, just making sure the child did reside with the taxpayer. If you truly believe that, you really stand behind that, you'll go ahead and hit all of these buttons, and you'll be able to continue. Watch that on the replay if you need more information, and we'll go back over that in detail later. You also, for anybody who does earn income credit, you gotta have notes. This is something that I had to learn the hard way. I'm gonna keep it real. I thought that notes were optional. They are not. They are obligational. All right. You're not just somebody who's gonna plug and chug. You're not TurboTax. All right. You're not the client. All right. As a tax professional, when you're putting your name on these files, they're expecting you to go above and beyond. So you got to put some information in these notes. I put due diligence notes here. And then I answer questions like, well, how do I know that the dependent stayed with them? How does this client live off of $9,000 with 2 kids for the entire year? Does she have any supplemental income? Does she have any food stamps or EBT cards? Does she have any government assistance? Does she get any alimony? This is where the IRS is expecting you to fill in the gap. Make it make sense for me. Explain to me how you have a woman who is not working, who doesn't seem to be working full time, and if she was, she didn't seem to pull enough income throughout the year to support a family of 2. Make it make a family of 3. Make it make sense for me. This is where we go in and say, okay, well, yeah, she's still living off of her savings. She had a lot of money saved up from her last job. She's still using some of that savings. She also has rich parents who help her financially. Her boyfriend is financially contributing. She does receive government assistance for welfare, or she lives in government assisted properties. This is where you help the IRS make sense and ask the questions that you think they may ask before they ask the questions of the client, and do it while they're holding up their check. All right, we'll get a little deeper into what's really good to add for these questions, but for right now, just know this is where you add your notes. I just want to finish this file with y'all today, and I'm already taking longer than I expected, so let's go ahead and keep this going. So this page is how you know you're at the point where you're darn near done. And this is where things get a little bit customary. What do I mean by that? This is when you can actually start doing things and deciding how you want to do it. So what you're about to see is how I do mine. All right. But it doesn't mean that you have to do it like this. Some of the point is I'm going to try to distinguish which methods are specific to me and which methods are required. All right. Try to follow along with me. So let's go ahead and take this up. So now that I finished this, let me first say that this young lady, normally I don't do paper checks. Like you gotta really ask me for paper checks because I ain't trying to like. That's just me. I know I'm probably the only one like this. I done got a little bougie, but giving somebody a paper check means that when the check is available, that we have to call them, tell them come pick it up, all that other stuff, as opposed to just giving us your direct deposit. You got a bank account, bro. Ain't nobody, you got Uber Eats and all that. Don't act like you ain't got a bank account. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just being like, oh, your money's in the account. You know what I'm saying? What if I'm off that day and you want your check right now? And now I got to go to the office and give you your check. Now, I'd rather you just have a direct deposit. So normally, direct deposit, that's the way for me. And for direct deposit, we normally also have a form that we collect their information. And it looks something like this, all right? Where you actually give us and we also collect the actual checks, which at the very bottom has the routing number on the left and the account number on the right. We also have these forms that we use to collect direct deposit information. And oftentimes we just use these as a reference and put the information in. But again, for the sake of today, expediency, we're going to assume that Jessica Brady wants a check, a paper check. All right. And so since she wants a paper check and she does not want an advance either. All right, she's cool. She's like, nah, if I get it too early, I'm gonna spend it. Okay, cool. We ain't gonna give you no advance. So this is how you give somebody a refund through a paper check with no advance. So here's your pull down bar. All right, let me go ahead and minimize myself. Notice right here, it says federal refund. How would you like the client to send their tax return? How would the client like to send their tax return? Well, let me go through these options. Oh, yeah, you don't see the pull down bar. Okay, hold on. All right, this is gonna be a little awkward. It's gonna be a little awkward, but let me see if I can set this up for y'all. So there's a pull down bar that you all are not seeing right now because it's not in the tab. So give me just a second to make a quick adjustment, and it's gonna look a little weird, but you should be able to see it once I get it up here. Okay, cool. So whoa, I told you it's gonna look weird. All right, hold up. BM. All right, that should look a little better, right? Okay, cool. So here is the drop down bar. When I click this, it gives me all these options. And most of this is due to my loving, oh, I love you so much, Sister B, who helps me get these every year because I'm behind the ball on it. So thank you, B. I know you in the comments. Love you so much. Appreciate you helping me out. I know you. Most years I gotta be like, yo, B, how come we ain't got the? So we did it in advance this time. This means that they will get if qualified, a portion of their check in advance, but you got to print that check out and hand it to them. If they do request a fast advance check, that means that they are eligible to, I believe, up to 500 or up to 6,000, something like that, of their refund. But if they select that option, then they are obligated to receive the remainder of that check on the check as well. So you can't get the full check in advance. They'll give you portions of it. Then the remainder of it will come on the actual check that you should have gotten at the right time. So if you request a fast advance check, then that means you should get, if qualified, a portion of your check in advance on a check, and then the remainder of the refund will come as a check. Same thing for fast advance direct deposit. You get portion of that check in your direct deposit, and then a remainder of it later when it's fully processed. With the card, I don't use the cards anymore, but for those who do, portion of it will go on the card, and then the remainder will go on it later. Now, since she's not asking for an advance, all she wants is a check. So I put SPTPG. Now, I'm gonna make this as simple as I possibly can for y'all. Like literally as simple as I possibly can for y'all. If you want to get paid from these refunds based on the fee that was charged electronically, then you have to click the ones that say SBTPG, which stands for Santa Barbara Taxpayer Group, excuse me. Okay? SBTPG is how we get paid. If you select one of these and it does not have SBTPG in front of it, then you have opted to not pay yourself for these clients unless they have paid you in advance. So if it doesn't say SPTPG in front of it, then normally the system will even tell you like, yo, you better get your money up front. Watch this. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm putting here just paper return. All right, we're just gonna put something stupid over here just to keep going. All right, and watch what the computer say to me. Watch what the system say to me after I try to keep going. Since I'm doing a paper return. Hey yo, you select the paper return. The option you select is not a bank product, so your fees won't be collected automatically. Don't forget to collect your fees before you email this return. Why? Because they ain't gonna do it for you. So if you click one that does not have SPTPG, expect to not be paid electronically for this client. That's all I'm saying. Now, having said that, let me see if I can get us back to where we was. So we're not doing paper return, are we? No, we're doing paper check, even though I hate doing those too. So let's just go ahead and do that. And this ain't got nothing to do with me. This is just, it don't work anyway. All right, down here, I'm gonna make sure that this is the right information. If you're one of these offices was established and you have somebody putting in your information, I'm gonna make sure that your third-party designation information is not one of your administrative reps before you go. You can even just clear it if you like. All right, BM. This is where you have to discuss what your preparer fee is. And I'm not gonna go into this right now because this could take a little while, but just keep it real from me to you. We do have fees that range anywhere from $50 to, $600, $700, $800, depending on what all it is we do, how many forms it is that we use, and I'll go over that scale. But right here, you'll actually see what it is that you're charging and which form is charging what. All right, that's the itemized fees. You notice 1040 each of these. Now we normally go in and we change it to whatever we think is reasonable. Right? Audit maintenance pro down here. If you think that they might need some audit maintenance help, then this should supply them with assistance in the event they do get a letter from the IRS requesting more information. And this right here is to help them with identity theft. All right, these two are optional as well. I know B typically uses these a lot. For the sake of this today, we'll go ahead and take these off just to keep the price a little lower. Okay. I'm also going to change this. If I'm just being frank, I'm going to change this to I'm going to change it to 700 for now. All right. 700, I said. I didn't say no 699. What is you talking about? 700. What are you doing? All right. Now, why is that? Because me personally, like this is a Vince thing. This is not a tax lady thing. This is a Vince thing. I like it when the clients get a number that I know that they can't really deny. And I want this client to walk away with a bare minimum of $5,000 out of this refund. Like it wouldn't make, I want them to have a 4 in front of their number. So I adjusted it as such. So now if you look over here to the right-hand side, you notice that it actually shows us how much they get and how much they get after the fees. You see that? So this young lady is going to be getting $5,093. And of that, I get $700. I mean, actually, she's getting $5,969. But of that, because I helped get that amount, I get $700. All right. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Me, I'm looking at this number, and this is the way my mind works. I'm like, all right, well, it's at 5,900. It's at 5,093. You know, I'd rather her get a 59 number, you know, a 51 number. I want her to be, if it's a first-time client, I want her to be satisfied. I want her to come back. So if I gauge her and I realize that that's not, you know, that may not be worth it, I might take this down to 650. Just so she can have that 51 number. In fact, I might even just take it to just over 50. So I might even make it. That's just how I do. You know, it's just, you know, you always got to do that. But this is less than what the computer's trying to charge, and they're trying to charge her 800. I just want her to come back because I look at the long-term relationship. I want to not just make $600-700 off this lady. I want to make tens of thousands over the course of the next 10-20 years. All right. So I think long-term. How do I keep her but also make her happy? So now we're down to the point we just have to put in the license. Okay, y'all see this? I'm gonna put in the license information. So I'm looking at the New Jersey license, and you know that the license type is, we're using a license, not a passport. So I'm gonna let it put driver's license, BM. All right, now we got a license number. Let's go ahead and look at the driver's license. We got C 65242564712846. All right, and so we put that number right here. See? All right, the state of New Jersey. BM. And I think the issue date, I don't know if these are going to be, they're kind of old. So issue date says 06/03/14. Now, I realize that this expiration date is expired on here. So instead of me putting in the expiration date that says 5/21/19, just for the sake of getting this number to 5/21/2025, just so that it accepts it. Okay, that's just for now. Citizenship, yes, I personally saw the driver's license. I personally saw the social security card. I personally talked to this person. Yes. Do they have, yes, they did sign our bank disclosure. Those are those first preliminary forms I told y'all about, the consent forms. Now, I like to use this one all the time. This was my keep the client away from me button. This says this will give account related promotional, oh, not this one, my bad. Yeah, I'm sorry. Account related promotional marketing. Man, they muckied it up again, man. Let me see. This confirms the customers agreed to be bound by all the terms set forth. So I usually put yes for this, okay? Because this normally means that the client will get text updating them on when to expect their refund. But it looks like they added a little extra promotional thing, which I typically don't want them to have to get promotional stuff because I don't want them to get annoyed. But in the event we do want them to get these notifications, I'm gonna go ahead and put their name. And here's the easy thing I do: just go over here to the phone, see the top right-hand corner, copy it, paste it, and store it right here. Okay. And for some reason, it doesn't always do the last one, but whatever. Client agrees, yes, and then hit continue. Now we want to get a signature from the client. Now this is where you got to use your administrative skills. If you're doing this online, and in other words, you're not doing this with the person in front of you, this is where you got to get creative and use either your DocuSign, but me personally, I like to use the system portal. You can send them a portal link and they can sign it electronically right there on their phone or the computer or on their laptop or on their iPad. Show you how to do that later, but for the sake of today, we just want to go ahead and complete this file, okay? So we did want a signature at some point. Hopefully she gets it to us. She'll be able to do her thing. Sign on there, hey, Jessica, Brady, whatever, all right? And bam, guess what? We now know exactly how much she is getting back from a refund, how much she's getting out of that refund, how much we're getting out of that refund, how much it is that she's being charged for additional fees outside of that refund. And that's it. If I'm satisfied with the documents that I have on file for her, if I'm satisfied with the information I've received from her, if she's satisfied with the amount she's getting, she's satisfied with where it's going, everybody's satisfied that we have nothing else to complete, then all we have to do now is get her signature, which we already got right here, and confirm that this is satisfactory to all parties involved. And once we're complete, we hit mark for complete, and we can transmit, and then we'll be waiting for that return to come within a 4 to 6 week period to that client's. Well, it's going to come to our office since we're doing a check. All right. But that is, oh, shoot. This is like Inception. It's a mirror within a mirror within a mirror. And so that, my friends, is how you get from the beginning of a file to the end of a file. That's how you get from the beginning of a file to the end of a file, which is what I wanted to show you. Okay. And that's it. Now, that's not all that we need to learn with regard to tax preparation, obviously, but that is literally the most basic of basics. Okay, your W-2, your dependents, and bank account. All right. So if you did not have any trouble with that, you might not have any trouble this tax season. Now, the overwhelming majority of your clients probably won't be satisfied with just the plug and chug, because nowadays the way that tax preparation is working, folks have the ability to access a system where they can do exactly what you're doing if you're just plugging and chugging for you. So if you're putting numbers in the system and telling them this is how much it is, then yeah, you might lose some clients once they learn. I did. There's a couple of clients that there was nothing much I could really do for them. You know, they earned about $9,000. They didn't have no additional income, and they had a bunch of dependents. And on an annual basis, they would get the full amount of earned income credit, and I couldn't give them no more because that's all they refund was based on earned income credit. And I had them as clients for like 10 years. And 1 year they just didn't come. And I can assume either that's because they found somewhere better to do it for a cheaper price, or they finally realized if I just do this on TurboTax, I can do it and get the same exact amount for free. And that happens sometimes. I'm just gonna keep it real. But it's not always the case. And there's always going to be some people who feel like, man, I think that I can do better. And that's where you come into play. So hopefully you know you can do better. And based on the stuff we learned today, I'm assuming that at least we're going in the right direction of making it so that you're at least a little bit more comfortable with what it is that you're doing for your clients. All right, so that's going to do it for us today. I'm going to open up the floor for the next 15 seconds for questions. 30 seconds. I'll give you 30 seconds for questions. 30 seconds for questions, and then we're going to get on up out of here. 30 seconds for questions. If you ain't got them, then you ain't got them. No pressure. Don't force it. Don't force it. It is what it is. All right. 30 seconds for questions. 30 seconds for questions. And yeah, just to kind of reiterate. Oh, wow. About this time. Just to kind of reiterate a little bit. This is one way of preparing the file. But some of the things that we did not go over, all right? Some of the things that we did not go over are things like the deductions and when to apply those. What exactly does it mean that you have a standard deduction? How much is a standard deduction? How much is earned income credit? How much are you allowed before? Also, what is it that your refund is compiled of? All right? Did all of y'all know that you can actually look here and add these up, and this will give you your refund? And so we know that her refund is composed of the $1,326 that she had here in federal withholding, plus the amount of earned income credit, plus the amount of additional child tax credit. And these three entities make up her full refund. Okay. So we know exactly what her refund is. So we don't have to guess. I don't know what you're getting. She would not, if she was not claiming dependents, her refund would be $1,326. She is, so she is getting that money. All right, so just wanted to make sure y'all understood that at bare minimum. All right, let's see if there's any questions. Oh, also no questions. We all know everything. Perfect. All right, cool. Well, I hope you all were able to absorb at least a bare minimum of information from today. Tomorrow we have our special guest Bertram, who should be opening up the floor, giving us some pointers. This dude is extremely intelligent, very talented. So I hope you all will be willing to listen, even though it's New Year's Day. We'll try to keep it short and sweet for tomorrow. I know it's time. We're trying to get our eggnog on and our pop that champagne on, since we did make it to the quarter of a century of this millennium. But we at least want y'all to be prepared, because some appointments start. Like I said, we got appointments today. It ain't even 2025. And folks is like, look, I want to start right now. I ain't trying to wait. I want to start right now. And they can. You can literally do it. You can do it today. Like, it's live today. It may not be complete, but it's live. So hopefully we've given you at least enough to feel at least a bare minimum amount of more confidence. Stay tuned for the next few days, and we're going to give you at least some more basic info for you to be able to complete the basics. Again, we're not going to make it so that you can complete a Fortune 500 company's taxes within this time span. It's just not going to happen. All right. But will you be able to do Auntie Susie them and everybody that comes to your attention that needs their taxes done? Yeah, you can do those. All right. And if it gets any more complicated, then we'll be here to assist you. Remember, you get out of this what you put into it. You ain't gonna get nobody if you ain't marketing. You gotta make sure you out there marketing. Do your thug thizzle, get your market on. All right. I'm your boy, The Real Vince Taylor. I sincerely appreciate y'all pulling up and rapping with us today. If you happen to have any questions, feel free to bring them with you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna kick this off again at 11, just from 11 to 12-ish. All right. I didn't mean to go over so much today, but it just was so much I had to get through real quick. All right. But watch it on the replay if you didn't gather everything. If you're watching and you still have questions, hit us up in the group. I'm your boy. Thanks again, y'all. Y'all take it easy.